Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you, my brothers and sisters, my friends and my family, my relatives and my helpers. Good evening to everyone all over the world. I have something to share with you, and it's very important. It's about the hearing of the people that you hear daily, 247, 24 hours of the day. It's about me. It's about my children. It's about us and my family. It's a very sad story. It's a very sad story for me that I'm experiencing this at this very present condition that I'm in. Please don't judge me too hard and don't blame me, for it is not my fault. I'm innocent of whatever accusation that has been placed on me or any judgment that has been placed on me. So as my children, I can only vouch for myself and my children because they are the ones I give birth to through my stomach. But for other people, I can also vouch for them, but not in all angle. It all started around a year. Actually, I'm a single mother of 3 children. My first son is 12 years. My second son is 11 years. And my third son just completed 1 year old 3 days ago. So I'm gonna take it bit by bit so that you understand what I'm trying to say. I gave birth to my third son March 4th of March 2021. And I was living with my ex-boyfriend then. Things was going on fine, except the fact that we had misunderstanding, or rather, we have misunderstanding sometimes. He was open to me and I was open to him, but there are some things we couldn't talk about to ourselves, and that got us really worried about ourselves and about the relationship. At a time, we called it a quit. And then our baby was like almost 3 months and half. So I spoke to him. I said, look, I'm traveling to Nigeria because I'm sick, having this radiation from electricity powers, computer powers, phone reactions, and anything that has to do with electric. It's been going on with me for years. It's been happening to me for years. So I decided to tell him that I'll be traveling to Nigeria. He said, okay, whenever I'm ready, I should let him know. But unfortunately, we broke up and he left the house because we talked about it. Then he left. I was living alone in the North Strat, 2100, Dune, with Prince, while his 2 brothers are living with their father and their stepmom. 2017, when I was sick from this reaction, they missed school for a few days. So the police came to my house and asked me why they didn't go to school. I told them that I was sick, but I would take them to school the next day. So they told me, okay, bring them to school and come to our office. The police station in Boggerhout in 2040, Antwerpen. I took them to school the following morning and I went down straight to the police station. They started asking me several questions. And I said, look, these are my children. I take very good care of them, sir. With all due respect, for the fact that I'm sick for a few days doesn't mean that I didn't take permission from their school. I called, I left a message on answering machine, but I couldn't go to the school to tell them that I'm sick, and I didn't bring doctor's report. So that got them angered. They gave me a note and sent me to court immediately the same day. I got to court, the Justice Palace here in Belgium. I met a lady judge who asked me what happened. I explained to her the reason why they missed their schools for days. And she said okay. As I was talking to her, I saw some statues on her wall that was having human heads. Not really human heads, but molded heads. There were many. And I've seen that revelation in my dream few months before it happened. And I had said, look, Judge, to tell you the truth, that I'm telling you the truth, this statue on your wall is a symbol. I know this symbol. I saw them in my dream. And I call them your fathers, ancestors, which is really, really true. They are existing. So she picked an offense that I know the secret, and immediately she told me to go to the hospital, a psychiatric hospital, and cure myself. Then when I'm fine, I should come back with a written paper that I'm fine and healthy to take my children. That was 2017. I said okay. First I refused and started crying, and I started begging. My ex-husband was there. His wife was there. I started crying. I started begging her that she should give me another chance, that I'm healthy, that I'm fine, and that I've got medication for my treatment. She refused. She said I needed rest. Then she handed the children over to their father, the children that I took to school in the morning, only to recover, only to realize that in the evening, their father and their stepmother was the one who went to pick them up from school with their school bags and uniform. They were surprised. They went home living with him up to today. So I came to the hospital, but before then, my neighbor was abusing me spiritually, doing all kind of esoteric things to me, my former neighbor, because this is the third neighbor I'm having now since that one moved. The first one was abusing me. The second one did abuse me a little bit. The third one helped me before I moved out of the apartment. So he threw something into my heart, and I was having heart attack then. I went to him to confront him, to tell him to stop doing whatever he's doing to me, that is evil, and he hurts me. Then the wife called the police for me. Then I haven't gone to the mental hospital because the judge already took her decision. It was like few days later, after her decision, the police came and said if I was hurt. I said yes. They said okay, they want to take me to the hospital for checkup to see if I'm fine. I said okay. They took me to the hospital. If I had known, I would have refused, though it would have still happened now. That's what is still happening to me now. I went with them to the hospital with an ambulance. They checked me. They said okay, the best solution is to go to a psychiatric home based on the knowledge and the information they read, because I was having the file, some papers that I was trying to put together so that I can go back to court and get my children back. Based on their knowledge and after reading the paper, they decided to take me down to the hospital. The hospital I was in was just a normal hospital. Then I complained to the doctor. I said, look, please, I cannot go to this psychiatric hospital because I'm after getting my children back home. They took them away from me. I want to bring them back home. I cried to her. She said, don't worry. You will go to the psychiatric hospital. You will stay 1 week or 2 weeks maximum. Then they will discharge you. I said, okay. I finally agreed. I came down with them to the hospital with the same ambulance. They asked me a few questions. That's motivation hospital. That's what they call it. Motivation seeking house. That's what they call it here in Belgium. I'm a Belgian citizen and a Nigerian citizen. My name is Iweru Blessing. That's the name on my ID card. My native name is Chioma or Chichi or Ichioma Fononye, Ichioma Fonihade. I'm carrying the sun, the moon, and the stars in my body because several years ago they marked me the stars and the moon and the sun. I prayed to our Lord Jesus Christ for years to grant me a favor. So one day a rainbow moved. That was 2014. From one side to the other side, and I shouted, I'm free from every bondage. And that marked a new millennium and a new world. And ever since then, everywhere I go, the sun follows me, the moon follows me, and the stars follows me. Wherever I am, if the sky is bright, the cloud is clear, you will see that I'm around that vicinity. If you don't recognize me with the sun, you recognize me with the moon planet. If you don't recognize me with the moon planet, you recognize me with the stars. So back to what I was saying, they kept me in the. So this is my gift that I got here in Belgium, but I think I was having it since I was little, but I never took note of it until the miracle happened. So they detained me at the hospital from 1 week to 2 weeks, from 2 weeks to 1 month, from 1 month to 2 months, from 2 months to 3 months. It was going to the 4th month. I even went to court here at the hospital. They tried to detain me more. So it was getting to the 4th month. My auntie now bought me a ticket and spoke with the doctor that she would like me to come over to US and stay for like 1 month or 2. The doctor agreed. Then they discharged me, telling them that I would come back once I returned back to Belgium, which I did. So I traveled to US. That was December 2017. I stayed there till this thing I'm telling you happened around April. I think the time they took my children, it happened April 2017. I was stressed from April to December. When I got to US, I stayed 1 month and a half with my auntie, living with one of my aunties, Lucy DK. And it was very good. She took care of me very well. I stayed there and everything that I did was under her watch. Then later on, she asked me with my uncles and my aunties that are living there to stay back in US. Then later on, when I'm settled, I can always come back to take my children. I said no, I will not leave my children behind, that I love them. And I want to come back so that I will be seeing them. And moreover, we are still going to court for the children's case. That I can't abandon them like that. And I can't stand it staying here 1 year or more without my children. It's better I come back for them. when everything is settled here, we can move down to US with them and live with them. So we came to conclusion. They now bought me another ticket to come back. I was supposed to stay 3 months, but I couldn't stay. Then I got back because of the court case that I was gonna have and because of the hospital promise we made. They bought me ticket and Auntie Abigail gave me $200. And I stayed there. That's Uncle Martin's wife, Martin's DK. How his wife gave me $200. She passed it through Auntie Lucy. So that was what Auntie Lucy told me, that it was her that gave me the $200. Thank you, Auntie Abigail, for the money. I really appreciate. That was what I was having when I was coming back, plus my €20 that I reserved for taxi to get home. I traveled down to Belgium. I came back safely. The following day or 2 days later, I came back to this hospital to get attestation stating that I stayed almost 4 months and I traveled to US and I came back and I'm normal. They said it was 6 days before the day. They said my time has, like, how do I put it? They said they have closed my file, that I'm no longer in their file, that I can go home, that I'm free. I said okay, because I was coming to the day hospital after sleeping here for 3 months. Then they put me in day hospital. I will stay 8 hours every 2 times a week or 3 times a week. That was how it was. That was before I traveled to US. So they said they've closed my file. I said okay. I went back home. I started living my life peacefully, gently. But the radiation also affected me in US, not only in Belgium. I couldn't stand it. That's why I came back too. Second reason, I told my auntie about it, but she didn't understand what was wrong with me. And then I used to get spiritual visitors coming to rescue me whenever my heart is being shaken, like when I start having heart attack. I've gone to hospital. I tried to explain to them, but there is no treatment that is being given to me about it. There is nothing being done about it. So the people who help me are the musicians that I know and some friends that I know and my family members that I know. They have been the one helping me all this while. Then I haven't gotten my 3rd baby. It was when I came back I met from Mr. Frank Chukukere. Then we started dating. After a while, I got pregnant and we were living together. So that was when we had our little boy, Prince. He's now 1 year old. So after he left the house, I started living with Prince alone, struggling, taking care of him. I registered him in creche. I take him to creche every morning and I come back. I'm not working currently. I'm not working. I stay home. Sometimes I go out, not to see friends, but just to look around to see if I can get something doing. Then there was a shop that they want to close, like a supermarket. I pleaded with my family to assist me financially to see if I could get the shop, if I can buy it, because the man said €5,000. Then I'll be paying the rest in installment. I pleaded with them, even if it's to borrow me. I couldn't go to the bank to borrow money because I wanted to get something doing. They said they don't have the money, that they can't support me. I cried about it and I let go. Now they are barbing hair in that shop. They removed every goose that was there and turned it to a barbing salon. So while I was struggling with my baby, taking him to creche, I saved some money. I went to a ticket office. I decided to buy a ticket to Nigeria since I couldn't heal very much here. Let me go to Nigeria where there is to an area where there is less light and less device so that my skin and my bones can heal. So the first one I missed the flight, I changed the ticket. The second time, first I didn't have enough money to pay up the flight ticket, so I changed the flight, the dates like 5 times. I actually wanted to go with my other 2 sons too, plus the little one, Prince, but I couldn't. So the 5th and the 6th time I went to the airport. The 5th time I did corona test. I passed and we went to the airport. We got there. They said I missed my flight, that I have to rebook another flight. I did. I rebooked another one. Then it was 15 days in between. They said, I went back again. They said it was 15 days in between the corona test I did, that I can't travel. It has to be 3 days valid or 4 days maximum, not 15 days, that I could not travel. Then I went back to the ticket office to ask for refund, which I got. Meanwhile, my Auntie Lucy supported me for the fare, transportation, about $400. But I took taxi because I was carrying a child and I was carrying luggages from the airport to the house, going and coming. And that cost me there about $300 or 300 euros or more or less. So I don't know if that made her angry for not helping me all this while. But while this was going on, there was a show that they did in heaven, and a lot of Nigerians came. First, they took advantage of my ID card and started merging my ID card with other ID cards, like counting census with Nigerian ID, with Belgium ID. They counted census. I warned them. I said this is not a good idea, that they shouldn't do it. Which are the people who took them? Our Lord Jesus Christ appeared, or it was another manufactured person that took his form. I don't know whether it's true or not. But the event took months in heaven. Not in heaven, but in the cloud, because of the moon and the sun and the stars. They stood there around my neighborhood. They talked. The whole neighbors heard them. The whole people heard them. Some people could travel spiritually to heavenly realm to go and watch them and to support them, because the king welcomed them here in Belgium. But I don't know which was the agreement or what happened. So they did this event, but before they did the event, I didn't know most of the people that came, but I could recognize some of them. Some, even my family members, was among those that came for the event, because they invited them, knowing fully well that I'm their daughter, and because it's my prestige and honor to be carrying the sun, the moon and the stars. They fought for me to gain my freedom, but up to an extent they began to give up. So one day I was inside the house with Prince. I wanted to go to my auntie. I was just carrying him. Then they made this device that you can hear people talk in your head, like someone talking to someone in their head. Because I don't hear all this before. I started hearing it recently. Then my Auntie Philomena Warinze, spoke to me in my head and said, "What are you doing at home? Why don't you go out? Why are you carrying the baby in your hand? Dress up and go out. I said, okay. I dressed up. I prepared my baby. We took our bath. We went to our Auntie Stella O'Shane, who is living here in Belgium. She takes good care of me too. We got there. We slept overnight. And there was this sign that I got that wasn't good, but I don't know what it meant. All of a sudden, they started attacking me. People came from those people who came from the spiritual realms. I saw the heaven open. I saw the book of life and the book of judgment. My uncle was the one, Uncle Nandi Dike was the one holding the book. He read it and he showed me. But before they went to heaven, they used knife and pieces to my body like a form of ritual. Uncle Martin was among them. Mr. Peter Okoye was among them from P Square. Mr. Paul was among them. His wife was among them. Mr. TB was among. Auntie Lucy was among. My younger sister Maureen was among. Mary Abuda, Rosemary Abuda was among. And Mr. Puerto Rican was among. In my auntie's house, and there are two ladies. They were wearing white and black. They told me to do money ritual. Then once they gave me a box, I said, this box you're giving me, I cannot handle it spiritually. With this box, I cannot do anything with it. They said any money I want, it will be entering into the box. I said, no, I don't want the box and I don't want the money. They were stabbing me, beating me anyhow. My auntie was there and I was just holding my baby in my hand. I was crying. I was putting on blue jeans and red top. I was crying all day because they were beating me spiritually and I couldn't tell my auntie what was happening to me. But I sustained a serious injury in my stomach and in my back because of the knife and because of the whole cutting. So I decided to sleep over the next morning with my baby. The next morning, I left the house back to my place, and there were people coming. Miss Biancy was among them also. So Miss Yemi Alade started from home, and Miss Tiwa Savage, they started cutting me with knives. Both the musicians that I hail, that I think, that I love, that has been helping me all this while, even up to today, they started cutting me with knives severally, the same initiation, and they were not smiling. But to tell you the truth, I did no wrong. I don't know why they just started it, even up till now. I know you might not believe me, but it happened. It's a spiritual attack that happened. So after 1 month that they cut me with knife, or 3 weeks, they stopped. They were poisoning my food. Other women was poisoning my food, blowing me all kind of charms in my eyes, in my food, in my face, in my baby. They were abusing us seriously, like they want to murder me. And the event was still going on, and they were talking on a microphone that people can hear them loud and clear. Then they pretended like nothing was going on. They started doing rituals. They even pounded my first son in the mortar while I was watching. Not physically, but spiritually. How do they do that? They manufacture us like a baby. They rip us out of us. Like I can be one right now. There is a way they do it. I become two. Then one with the person that made it, one with me. That's how they do it. They used us for money ritual for like many months in the house, for like almost 1 or 2 months. I was so afraid. I couldn't take it anymore. Each time my ex-boyfriend comes, I try to talk to him about it, but he's a member of them. My ex-husband is also a member of them with his wife. They are all members of this court, and they were there that day this thing happened to me at my auntie's house. They were there while all these things happened to me. So many people, I didn't mention their name, they are still there and they are still aware of these things that I'm saying is true. Then I decided to go to the police and lay a report that the sisters who came from Nigeria, some of them have gone home and they are poisoning my food, and they are dragging the moon, the sun, the star with me, and they are trying to burst the planet so that it will stop moving around with me everywhere I go. If I'm traveling, it moves with me. That's why I'm gifted. That's where I think that our riches will come from, like the Bible said, because I count on the word of God and the promises made in years, even though we know everything, but we cannot know everything also. So I went to the police in Netherlands to report my case. I went with my boy, Prince. I reported the ladies and I reported Mr. Peter and Mr. Flavor and Miss Princess Fendi, that they are abusing me. Then I hid the names of the rest of the people like I'm hiding them now, because I'm afraid of dying. They might kill me, they might set me free. Either way, but it has taken a long time. At a time, people will start thinking that I'm guilty. I am not guilty, Chacha. I'm not guilty at all. I'm not guilty because I don't do all these things. All this power that they have, I don't possess them. They became immortals and they used me to do all these barbaric things that are happening all over the world right now. And that made me a very huge victim. So after reporting the case to the police, they told me if there is any chance that after 1 week or more, I'm still hearing the aunties, that I should come back and report again. I said okay, no problem. We left the station. We went home. I took my baby home. We got home around 8:30 in the evening that very day. That was around last year actually, around, I can't remember the month actually, but this thing that has been going on is going, this month or next month will make it 1 year that these people have been pressurizing me, or 9 months that they've been pressurizing me constantly, drilling from me and using me for money rituals and all kind of rituals like exchange of life, exchange of millenniums, and any kind of ritual that you can ever think of that people do that scares you. That's what they've been using me for. So the following week, I took my baby to creche like I used to take him to creche. I came back in the afternoon to pick him up. I saw 4 policemen, 2 male and 2 female. They asked me who I am. I said I'm Prince's mother. They said okay, they want to talk to me in the room, in the office. I went with them. They started talking. They said they want to take Prince away from me. I said why? They said because of protection. Because the creche, each time I come there, this mind communication that they use, the creche people tell me through the mind that the people who are attacking me at home are also attacking Prince in creche, that they are attacking him and the other children too. So he's not feeling safe in my hands at that very moment. And for me also, I'm not feeling safe. So they told me all these things. But in mind reading, each time I come, they complain to me, look what happened today, look what happened today. Because these people were purposely doing it to me, tormenting me. even up till today. Today is 7th of March 2021. That's the day I'm recording this video, this audio. So I didn't do them anything. So I keep saying this because I'm innocent. So the lady now told me that they have to take Prince away for a while. I thought they were joking, but they meant every word they said. The next thing, they didn't let me touch him. They didn't let me go close to him. They didn't let me near him, carry him. Then they took him. They asked me to leave the premises with forcefully. They forced me out of the premises, and they took him into a van, and they took him to a foster care. Since that time till now, then he's in foster care since almost since November, actually. November 9, I think so. Yes, November 9. Since then, he's in foster parents' home till today. So after he left, 1 week later, I got visited by a male and a female, that came to help me from this hospital again. Actually, it was a suggestion that they made. I complained to them about my heart, about my feeling, and about at first I didn't tell them about the abuse that I was going through, because they used to visit me while Prince was with me, like a social worker, to support me. So after they took Prince, I don't know, after they took Prince, they still came back to check on me, and they suggested that I should come back to Motivation Hospital, the same mental hospital, to stay for a while. I agreed. They signed for 1 week or 2 weeks again. I agreed, and because I was afraid of dying, and because the people was choking me with knives, and they were poisoning my food, and they were raping me, they were manufacturing me and my children. They were abusing them on the other side, abusing Prince on this foster care home. Even up till now, they abuse him on the foster parents' home he is still living, and they abuse me here, and they abuse the other 2 boys of mine, making them 3, so, and their mother. But the good thing is that their father know how to protect them, and he knows how to do this esoteric something. But me, I don't know. I'm just an infant in all of this, like a holy child who is in the middle, who doesn't know all these things that are happening, and when it's gonna stop, or why it started in the first place. So after a long while, I decided to focus on myself and come back to this hospital again, because I'm alone, and to save my life. Then they came looking for me at this hospital again, and started again abusing me, stabbing me, raping me, manufacturing me, selling me as human parts to different people, using me for money rituals again, over and over and over and over again. Even up to this very moment as I'm talking to you, they are still doing that to me. Many people from different areas are doing this to me. Not the white people. I cannot point finger at the white people, but the black people are the ones who are doing it to me. Those that I call lovers, and I mean not lovers, I mean to say those that I love, and those that say they are helping me all this while. They are the one doing all this to me. So I've been here now since then, and they've been trying to kill me. They've been trying to rescue me. Some people try to kill me, so why some people try to rescue me. Then the King Ndoka came in, trying to rescue me, and he wanted to marry me, but I lost him because of these women that are talking. They drove him away from me and said he would never marry me. Then they brought like 7 suitors for me. They got me forcefully married to their 7 suitors spiritually to make me their wives and slave. But none of them came to reality as a wife. None of them came to reality as a wife. So they were using me anyhow they want and anyhow they wanted. The reason why I'm appealing or begging is that these ladies have taken too much of me already. The little that is left of me, I'm begging them in the name of God. I don't know who they are, but they are from my village or my mother, either from my father's village or my mother's village or from other village. I don't know who they are, but they know everything about me, and I'm not the only one they are harassing. They're harassing a lot of people too. Imagine me in this hospital. They are on the rooftop like witches, talking 24 hours of the day. They will talk from morning till night, from night till morning, from morning till night for the past 8 months. And there is nothing they don't talk. Anything that happens, if I'm in the toilet, they talk about it. If I want to shower, they talk about it. If somebody else gets hurt, they talk about it. If somebody is happy, they talk about it. And it's not of good feeling because everyone is hearing them and they are disturbing the hospital premises. Now, yesterday I went home for weekend, which is Saturday, because I got a new home now. I got a new home. They followed me there. They talk, and it's a new neighborhood. They talk the whole day, the whole night, and the whole morning till I came back to this hospital. They talk, and the neighbors were worried. Who is these people talking? Why are they talking? They were exchanging words, but I don't think they can bear it for too long. What am I trying to say? In order not to lose my citizenship as a Belgian citizen, in order not to lose my nationality citizen as a Nigerian, in order not to lose my life or my children's life, in order not to lose the custody of my children, because we are going to court for these cases, for my 3 children, I'm going to court for them for something I didn't do. It was all a setup and a planned war to see how much they love me and how much they hate me. It was all a setup and a planned one. So imagine with all this stress going on, how I'm able to stand, how I'm able to cope daily, and how I'm able to hear what they are saying. Now the white people can hear them, the black people can hear them. There is no need to be pretending like we are not hearing them. My biggest fear is that I'm at the hospital now, and if I can stay here for too long, or if I can stay in my home for too long, because the new home they just gave me is a very suitable home for me. But will I live to enjoy it? Because I don't know what their plans are. If I will live to enjoy the home, I don't know. Because the way they are doing it to me, they are really molesting me seriously. They are molesting me in a way that I'm dying, and they are killing me. They are pushing me. And there are other people who are being abused. The king also abused me. King Ndokabogidi abused me seriously. Seriously, like really, really seriously. Then at a time, he got mercy for me. And he began to save my life up till now. Because he didn't understand what was going on and how it started. Later on, he began to show me mercy. The king of Umunede abused me seriously. But now he's beginning to show mercy or hatred for me. I don't know. But my father has been calm, because I call him sometimes and I explain to him, my mom is late. I call him sometimes, I explain to him, to tell him that, look, see what is going on. See what is going on with me. My father, look, they are abusing me. they are abusing me. I tell him all the time. Then I told him to also go and look for who they are so that he can talk to them or find a way to resolve this issue. But I don't know if he has done that yet. So I have to call him to find out again and be open to him, because this method and this technique has not given us the privilege to speak our minds or talk to somebody about the situation. Miss Biancy used to visit me also. She sometimes help me and she sometimes abuse me also. But I don't like all this abuse that I'm getting from these superstars. If you don't like me to be alive, please spare my life and stay away from me. But if you love me, that you want to help me, finance is what I need, and some write-up to the doctors and to those who think that I'm crazy, so that they will know that I'm not crazy. You know the kind of help that I need already. So I won't say you don't know me too well. You know me very, very well and what I'm capable of doing. So all these things that happened to me, was the beginning was that they started asking me for a ship, an alien ship that I don't know about, though I saw them in the Revelation, but I don't know about the alien ships, so where they are. But I know the exact positions that I saw them in my dream. So they snatched them from me and they did some things to my body, like restructure my body into what I don't know or what I know. But I'm a human being and I still remain a human being and a child of God. Forgive me if I shared the video of the black woman being God, if that's what is causing the problem. Actually, God is a male or a female. Does it really matter? How are we tracing the God that we serve? We should trace the God in a more suitable way. First, I suggested, since you people are staying around me and insisting that you must abuse me, let me suggest this. You are gods and goddesses. You can be crowned as gods and goddesses you are. Several videos I have made to apologize to them. Several videos I have made to tell them what is going on. And so many other things that I have done to please them, all to avail. So I don't know if I should go back to the police and lay a report, or because I already told them few times in this hospital about these ladies and they can hear them too here in the hospital, but they pretend like they are not hearing them. So everyone is pretending like they are not hearing them, and what they are saying with their mouth is more like a casting of evil instead of good. Excuse me. A casting of evil instead of good. And some good parts are also there among them. But they are humans. And I wonder how they connected this connection that has taken so long, and why the reason of them being here and what they want from me, because I don't know them. And I can't keep hanging around in a stressed way. Even when I'm at the hospital, they are still here tormenting my life from home to home. Even they followed me to the airport that day. That was how they disturbed the airport, Zaventem Airport. 2 times or 3 times they followed me there. I couldn't fly, but I couldn't take my board on the flight that I wanted to board because of all these things happening. So all those things that they've been doing to me is still going on till today. I just want to apologize to Jehovah God Almighty to forgive me my sins and our Lord Jesus Christ. They made videos of all my past life and began to share it to everyone that they know that comes around to see. And you remember I talked about the courts. They initiated a lot of people, and most people abused my mother also. May your gentle soul rest in the bosom of our Lord. They abused her picture, they abused her severally, and her corpse was exhumed from most of those who are abusing us. They play with us and tussle with us like we are footballs. But nevertheless, we are still humans, and we still have the upper above hand that can rule us. So I don't know what the musicians want from me, or the popular stars what they want from me, or the movie stars what they want from me. If it's a help, I appreciate and you're welcome. I don't know what the FBI want from me. If it's a help, I appreciate, you're welcome. But if it's not a help, I don't know. I don't understand. But I'm appealing to you all, and I'm appealing to the police authority here in Belgium. Do not deport me, please, and do not let me die out of this condition, because I'm innocent, so that they won't say that she lived a bad life. That was the cause of her problem. But she never lived a bad life. Is the judgment that is being inflicted on her that is causing the problem. I mean me, myself, talking about myself. Because people, they carry rumor up and down, but they won't find out what's the cause of the problem and why it's happening to me. Out of everybody, why did they choose me to do this to? And I was living a holy life. Even up till now, still living my best of holy lives. But I can't do what I can't do, and more than I can do. So what I'm saying is that I'm begging everyone who is having this knowledge and idea already to take drastic decision about these women, for them to stop tormenting me, because they are the cause of my problem right now. Apart from the abuse that I'm getting, even here at the hospital, apart from the attacks that I'm getting, apart from the money ritual and the rape and the manufacturing, they are manufacturing me, and the daggers, they are stabbing me, and those things happening to me and my children. Apart from all this, these women are the major problem. If they can leave or off the microphone, I'm sure the whole planet will be a peaceful place, because they want to put the world down, and you are supporting them by staying quiet. You have to search for them and stop them with full authority of the King of Belgium and other authorities of kings and queens. If you want this world to be a peaceful place, I might be one and little, and if I die, you have nothing to lose. No problem about that. But what if you discover that all lies, and what if I die, then they go back, then they will say finally they killed her, they finally killed me, then they will go back, they will stop tormenting everyone, because they are tormenting all of us by this speech that they are making. There is a male among them, and they said it's the king's son, the king of Umunede's son, of a car land. So I don't know what is the truth and what is the lie, but the truth is that I just want my freedom, my children's freedom, because I'm having too many stress already because of all these happenings, and I can't stand it for too long. And the funniest thing is that, or the craziest part that makes me really sad, is that I don't have a dime on me. I would have bought a ticket or another ticket to say, okay, let me travel to Nigeria and rest for a while, or travel to Ghana or any other part of the world, so that I can go there and hide myself to save my life until everything is over again. Then I can come back to Belgium now that my children are not with me. I don't have the money for my flight. I can't afford any flight ticket. And I've pleaded with my families. They have refused to hear me out, and they have refused to assist me. So I have no one to help me. I have no one to support me financially, but medically too, and every other way. So I'm asking for help generally, from friends, from brothers, from sisters, from uncles and aunties and relatives, and those musicians that I know and those that I do not know, because you've come several times to try to help me, but maybe you were duped. I'm sorry about that. You've tried to put money in my account severally, but it couldn't go through because of my status and the way I was belittled. Normally it could go, but I'm belittled. So they think that I don't deserve anything good. Please, my brothers and sisters, contribute money for me if you can, so that I can buy a ticket to Nigeria or to any other country to go hide myself from these women that are abusing me and these people that are abusing me, because I'm alone and I'm getting it real hot because I'm alone. Please save my life and save my children's life. Save our lives, please. I'll be going back to the court. I don't know, the judge will not agree to give me the children, but I pray that she agrees to give me the children. I'm still strong and capable of taking care of them. It might also be the cause that we are living separately. That's why we are having this illness in our body. But if we are living together, we can get cured quickly, because it wasn't like that before. And I take very good care of my children. I'm a responsible mother. So whoever that is listening to this video, I'm going to publish it so that you can hear my own side of the story, though it's not finished. But this is how far I can go right now. Try and help me, please. Please try and help me financially, medically, physically, spiritually, and every way that you can. Forgive my behaviors, for I'm stranded here in Europe and in Belgium. Please. God bless you all as you will listen.